Hello and welcome to another mod spotlight. I'm Exterminator and thank you for joining me. This spotlight is going to be on the Rage ore processing mod for Factorio, obviously. And this mod's actually been out a little while, several months, but I've been meaning to get around to it and haven't done that until now. So essentially what this mod does is it's kind of like a productivity module effect in a way. It essentially adds the ability to get more ore, or more plates, from the amount of ore that you are using. So for like iron ore or copper ore, right now those are the only two things you can do this with. But it essentially allows you to get more plates from the raw resource, and it also allows you to speed up the process a little bit. Okay, so the first one, which just kind of speeds it up, is ore purification. And I will demonstrate that right here. And then this one here and this demonstration here is the ore processing, which is where you can get more out of the same input. So, okay, so first, just to demonstrate something, I have two furnaces here to set up to demonstrate this, that this pure iron ore, which is what you get from this, actually smelts slightly faster than normal iron ore. So this is the purification process that kind of makes it smelt faster in a furnace, right? So if I go ahead, if I take, this is not powered. Okay, so if I take, let's just say like 10 of these, right? Stick them in here, and then I take 10 of these and put them in here, and I power it. Obviously the inserters will work at the same time, start up at the same time, and you'll see that this one on the right finishes slightly faster than this one does. You get the same amount, but it is faster. So I power these on, and if you watch the export, you can notice this one finishes slightly faster. You can see the progress bar here compared to the progress bar here. You can notice a difference. You'll notice this one is done, and this one is now done. So this happens a little faster using this pure iron ore. Well, how do you get this? You essentially just process normal ore. So it takes 4 normal ore, and you get 4 pure ore in a stone. So you do get stone byproduct from this. Okay, so it's a 1-to-1 ratio, but it won't work until you have a minimum of 4. So if I just put like 1 in here, it's not going to do anything. So you start this. It does take a while. That's something to note. It takes a little while, but you'll notice that there was already some ore. No, there wasn't. Sorry. So you get 4 plate, obviously, from 4 ore, but it does smelt slightly faster, and then you get a stone byproduct as well. And you would want to use smart inserters here, because otherwise you're going to end up with like an inserter trying to put stone in here and then your ore going in the box type of thing. Okay, and this is done. I didn't really go over the machines yet. This is done in ore processors. Okay, this is just a normal vanilla furnace, but to get this you need these ore processors, right? And there's a level 1 and a level 2. Level 1, crafting speed of 1, 150 kilowatt energy consumption, and this one is 210 kilowatt consumption and a crafting speed of 2. So this was a level 1. Now there is a technology for this. It's the Rage ore purification, and then there's actually also another tech here, but it's 250 of these two, and I guess 500 of these, and it unlocks all of this stuff, the ability to do this, and then the ROP circuit, which I'm not 100% sure on quite yet. So we get that, and then the next one is the ability to do this processing, and then the last research unlocks the processor 2, which is actually quite expensive. So there is that. I don't really know what that is. Okay, so that is the purification. The processing part here is more complicated, but it does yield more. more ore, or more plate, sorry, from the ore that you input, okay? So I'm just gonna have it do one set here, because this does take a while. So I put 4 ore in here, which means it'll just go through this process once, but you'll see we will get more plate for the amount of ore that we've put in. Okay, so let's go through this. Again, we already know what this does. You get 4 pure ore from 4 iron ore and then a stone. Now, you put it in here, and you make an atomized pure iron ore, okay? Which, it's a 1-to-1 ratio. You get 1 of these for every 1 ore. Okay, so from this 4 iron ore, we're going to get 4 of these guys. Now, this is, basically it's this, but it multiplies it. Okay, so you get 3 atomized pure iron ore, which is what this is. And it takes 2 atomized pure iron ore and 1 morpheus matter. Okay, and I'll explain the morpheus matter in a second. It takes 9 seconds, so again, this does take a little bit. But if you remember, from this 4 ore, we get 4 of these, right? So that means we get 6 atomized pure iron ore. So this is multiplied by 50%, right? 4 to 6 is a 50% increase. And again, these are the same things as these. It's just multiplying it, essentially. So we now have 6 of these. And then you go over here and you do the pure iron ore again, right? There's 2 recipes for it. You can either make it from the ore, or you can make it from the atomized pure iron ore. So we do this, and it's a 1-to-1 ratio. So essentially we're getting 6 plate, right? Because this is just going to put this in here and smelt it. We get 6 plate from 4 ore. And it's also, since it's the pure iron ore, it's going to smelt slightly faster than normal ore as well. Okay, so if I go ahead and turn this inserter here, this guy's going to go, it's going to take a minute. And while we wait, as you can see, this guy's going, sticking it in here. Now this guy we will need to turn on, and this is the morpheus matter. Now this takes 90 seconds, right? It takes 1 alien artifact and 10 stone. Now I'm not going to sit here and make you wait for this whole thing. If I just grab one of these and stick it in here, I'm actually going to need an additional one. So this guy's used up all these, and again, it's multiplying it. So you get 3 from 2 of these. Putting it in here, this guy's going, and you'll see we should, theoretically, 6 plate from 4 ore, right? So it multiplies it, and this does smelt slightly faster. Now this does give you 10 of these, okay? So that's something to keep in mind. It may take 90 seconds, but it gives you 10 of these. So this allows you to essentially do this process 10 times per 1 input. Okay, so now granted, you could argue that like it may just be faster, and you would get, you know, may just be faster altogether to just do a normal setup and just have ore go into here rather than waiting for all this stuff. But it does add up. It's certain, like if you have more than one of these going, it adds up, especially if you put like speed modules. You cannot put productivity modules in here, okay? But if you put speed modules, and then you could probably beacon it too, it would be worth it. And again, you can just do more and more of these. Okay, so here's this. This one down here is doing the same thing, except it's taking it another step to get even more from it, right? So I didn't power these on yet because I didn't want it to start. Again, I'm going to do the same thing, 4 ore, and we'll see how much plate we get. Now, you could definitely have this hooked up to the logistics system, right? These chests that have these guys, you can make these requester chests, and this is actually supposed to have some of those as well. My bad. Got a little complicated setting this up. All right. So, again, we turn the pure iron ore into the atomized pure iron ore. It's a 1-to-1 ratio between these. So for 4 of these, we get 4 of these. Now, of course, there's 2 of them, so it's only going to still produce 4, but it's going to do it twice as fast as this setup, right? Because there's 2 of them. And then we have these guys doing the same thing. Again, it's the same as this process, but there's 2 of them, so it goes twice as fast. But the step that's different here, and this actually should be level 2. So the step that's different is we're going through the same process again, right? Because, as I mentioned before, but just to clarify, this is the same thing as this. It's just multiplying it, you know, you get 3 for every 2. Okay, so we are then doing it again to get even more. Okay, and then we're just putting it back into this like we did over here. So if I go ahead and power this on, looks like it fits exactly. So this guy's gonna do its thing. Now, obviously, this one was not used because this just took all 4 of it since we have the max stack size bonus. But the effect should still apply. If I go ahead, this guy apparently was missing that, so I'm just going to throw these in here. But this is going to go here, and then it's doing it again. Right, so it's only going through one side of this, but the effect should still be the same because we're now putting it through 2 of these. So if you remember, we put 4 iron ore in total. And once this is done processing, we now get 9 iron plate, right? So up here we got 6, and now we're getting 9. Now, I don't know if there's a, like, theoretically there probably wouldn't be a limit. You could just do this like 15, 20 times and just get more and more and more. Obviously, it would take longer because you're doing it multiple times, but you could just do this over and over and over again to get way, way more, right? So this is actually a 50% increase from this. Going from 6 up to 9 is 50% increase, I believe. Yeah, so it's pretty cool. It's kind of like I said, it's kind of like productivity modules, but possibly even more effective because productivity modules, they only, if I were to put 2 of these in to a furnace or whatever, it would only give me 20% productivity, which is less than what we're getting through this process. Okay, so there's that. Now, we do have our ROP circuit here, which I have actually not tested. And this guy is somewhat unknown. I will admit, the mod post does not mention anything about it. So it takes 2 productivity modules and 10 advanced circuits. And it takes 30 seconds. You make it in an assembling machine. And, you know, I'm really not entirely sure what it does. So, there you go. That is... Okay, it won't let me insert it into any of these. Will it let me, like, insert it into a normal machine? Like, well, I know I can make those. Like, if I set this to make this, can I put it in here? As an ingredient, not as a module. Okay, so... Okay, sorry, here we go. The ore processor takes that. I'm a derp. I'm a derp, guys, okay? The ore processor takes the ROP circuit. Okay, so these are actually pretty expensive machines because this is 2 productivity 1s and 10 advanced circuits. So you need that, plus an assembling machine and 2 speed modules, and then this just takes the previous version and 2 speed module 2s. Sorry about that, I was a derp, I didn't actually look at the recipes. Guess that's a problem with using test mode. But there you go, so ore purification just allows you to get something that will smelt quicker in a furnace. It does not produce any more than normal. And then the processing will give you an increase in plate based from the ore that you put in. So we put in 4 ore, we get 6. and you can do this again and again. Here we did it twice, and we got 9 from 4. Okay, so there you go. It's pretty expensive, you know, all around, the tech cost and all that. But if you you know, if you were to throw speed models in here and beacon this guy out, you could, and had the power obviously for that, you could probably amplify your iron and copper plate thing processing quite a lot. And copper ore I didn't go over because it's the exact same thing except just using copper rather than iron. So there you go. I think that covers it. Adds a new tab here, and I think that is about it. So hopefully this was fairly easy for you to understand. I really only had one hiccup with the circuit, which is used to make these processors. But yeah, so I hope this helped. If this is like, you know, if you have a ton of alien artifacts sitting around, or you feel like a new way of getting more plate out of, you know, out of the base resource that you're doing, then definitely check out this mod. It would be good for all of that. So thanks for watching. Hope you found this helpful, and as always, there will be a link in the description to the forum post where you can find the mod, and there's a few screenshots up there. These two are actually like identical to the screenshots, and then there's a third one that goes like even further that I didn't want to set up. So there's more info on that forum post if you want to check it out. But as always, thanks again, and I look forward to seeing you all next time, and take care.